Hey Moguls, it's Dr. T here, and I'm coming to you with another upgrade, courtesy of doing internal family systems self sessions. So I've been doing these on myself and sharing this content, taking my transformational leadership to another level by showing you, going into the vulnerability of this experience and the transformative capacity of it. And I'm going to move through a self session again with one of the other parts in my internal family system, or I like to call it my internal dynasty system. I want them to be a dynasty. And what you're going to experience is a real, raw, internal family system self session. Now, sometimes these are shorter, longer length. It really just depends on where it takes us. And the point is that in internal family systems, we are helping transform the parts of us that are struggling with difficulties, traumas, patterns, struggles, and being stuck in their role that is typically related to something in the past. We're helping our parts get attention to have a transformation. And if you haven't seen other internal family system self session videos, I've got a few of them that you can look at, and I'm going to continue to make more. This process is going to show you what it's like. And in this process, I'm not here trying to be some version of myself. I'm not trying to be creating the perfect piece of content for what I think would be the most ideal for you in some overly produced process. Far from it. I have just decided that in all my transformational support that I give to people, that I realize at a certain point that the sessions I do with my own self in internal family systems and other transformational modalities are some of the most valuable pieces of transformation. And it just felt like the right time to start showing that. Um, and I also recognize that in an age where people have an attention span that is like 10 seconds, it's unfortunate and what that's doing to our society, because there's some amazing gold in being able to navigate through a learning process of taking in a template of something that will transform your life, being willing to learn it, having some focus and patience, and being able to get the gold from it. But it's either neither here nor there in the sense that you're invited in, but this is something I'm doing anyway. I am doing the process the way I would do it with my own self here. So you're welcome to join me. Internal family systems is about recognizing the parts of ourselves that are either in the category of protectors, which are often these manager parts that are trying to protect us from things and um, protect what they refer to as exiled parts of ourselves. And the other types of protectors are called firefighters. And the firefighters are the ones that come in and get you to do all kinds of addictive coping behaviors to get out of pain. And the protectors are the ones just sort of getting you to do different dynamics and behaviors that aren't necessarily ideal for you at this point in time and getting you where you want to be. And these exiles are the ones that are the most wounded, tender, sensitive ones of all. And the protectors are protecting them because they've really been hurt in each of our lifetimes. And we all have these exiled parts because we're told in this rugged individualist society that if you get emotionally injured, to just move on. And if you want to see me working with different types of parts, you can watch the different videos that are going to be at the end of this video. And you can look in the playlist called The Trajectory, which is about my transformational trajectory. So the part that I am going to connect with today and make contact with and support and transform is an interesting part called the avoider. And I've worked with different parts of myself that are doing these different things that, even with all my transformational capacity, there's still these parts that, as you go along in life and you take on these new amazing challenges and you go for something new and you go for the gold, these parts, if they're not upgraded and on the same team going to the same direction as you, you think you've got people in your life externally that are not supporting you and getting in the way. You actually may have your internal family working at cross purposes with you. And for all of my clients, for my own self, I have found this, that like I can be literally on point in flow doing the greatest level of capacity that I could possibly do and making success happen. But then there is this internal part that has another agenda that is taking me in some other direction. And when we have our internal family not on the same page, not working as a team, kind of sounds like our regular family, right? Our external family, then it's going to make it harder. It's going to make it more difficult. You're going to have parts of yourself fighting with each other and trying to get their way because they believe their way is the way that's best for you. And it's just a little bit, it can be a shit show. So as I continue to connect with these parts of myself and give them attention, discover and explore their reality, their experience, just like I would a new client that I'm meeting, and figuring out what role they are in, why, what do they need now, what is best for them. This is the internal family systems process that is done typically with a practitioner and a client. And yet the process is also meant to be then done with our own selves so we can tend to this internal family system. So the avoider, from everything that I can see, appears to be a protective part. And it's kind of weird given all I've done in my life. I never, until maybe a couple of years ago, even thought of myself as like having any avoidant tendencies. Um, but I've also gone through a lot of different things in my life, including years and years of transforming lives. And there's a lot of vicarious trauma that you take on, seeing people's lives in difficulty and moving them up and over into the, into a transcendent reality. And whether I absorbed it recently or I've had it with me, like that's the discovery of this process. So the steps also, in case you want to do this yourself, are about making contact with the part. Number one. Number two, seeing what your relationship is. How do you feel about this part? Number three, understanding why this part is doing what it's doing. Number four, getting the history of, again, why is it in this role? What's this role like for it? Number five, um, finding out what is it thinks is going to happen to you if it doesn't do this role anymore, if it doesn't play this part and do this thing. Six, seeing if it would like a new job, new role, if it would like to retire, do something else, go on a vacation. Uh, if it does want to play a new role, great. I think I'm on number seven. Sorry if I missed a number. Number seven, see if it would like to unburden itself and help it unburden itself. Number eight, let it send the burden to somewhere that it wants to send it to. Number nine, figure out the role that it wants to play and invite it into that and begin to make a new relationship on that with that role in mind. And number 10, invite it to wherever it wants to be. If it wants to come into the present and it wants to be with you in the present and help you and you agree on that, then bring it into the present. And let it know that you're going to be in charge, leading, managing as the adult higher self, and that you're going to be coordinating it and managing it like you would any team that you want to work harmoniously and toward a higher purpose and to fulfill a mission that you have. So I'm going to demonstrate that. And what I do is I put a one of these sleep masks over me. I've got my dog here with me, TJ. He's always riding as my sidekick, so hopefully he's chilling, stays taking his little nap here. And we'll see where this takes me. And my commitment to you, and I'm really proud of myself for doing this, I'm just going to let it take me where it takes me, inform me, transform me. And if, just a little disclaimer, if there's certain emotions that come up, like that's what this is about. So if that's something that you're not wanting to, a witness or be a part of or whatever, like, you don't need to. You can skip it. But that is just something I like to let people know is we don't know where these things are going to take us. The point is to stay open. Just like if you're meeting a new friend, if you're meeting a new team member, you're meeting somebody that's been supporting you your whole life, but you didn't really know them very well. And they're like, hey, I've been here with you the whole time. So whatever emotions come up, I just do everything I can, even though I'm filming it, knowing I'm going to release it, to just do it the exact way I would do it on my own, because that's the most beneficial thing for everyone. So let's go into this transformative experience. And let's see, some water here, but doesn't seem to be here right now. And we're going to connect with the part called the avoider and see what's going on with them. Okay, everyone. All right. I would like to call forth the part of me that is avoiding things. I would like to call forward the part of me that is doing a pattern of avoiding. I would really like to bring forth this part and have it make itself known that it's here. Yeah, I'd really like this part of me to just connect with me, show itself, and know that it can trust that we're just going to have a very productive connection. And given that the avoider could understandably try to avoid this experience, I just really want to invite it to know that it's safe here, that I am here, my full self, my higher self, Tracy, is here to be supportive and learn. So I'd really like this part to come forward. And just let me know that you're here. And I'm getting a sense that the part is here. And I'm also recognizing that it's doing a little bit of hiding. And again, I just want to let it know that it's safe. You're safe. And in supporting this part, I just want to get a sense of where it lives in my body. And what I'm getting is that it's living in my throat. It's living in my voice box. It's living in this area where I would communicate, which is also in the human design framework, my manifester area. This is the manifester area. So I just want to acknowledge this part. That is kind of like, it's like right now, like kind of peeking in, like, okay, really? Is it safe? It's like in my throat here. I'm just kind of saying, like, is it really safe? And I want to let it know that it is very safe. And to the question of how do I feel about this part, I feel like a mixed feeling. What I notice is it's like a bunch of stacks of feelings on top of each other, just different. What I feel about this part is I feel how much I really want it to change. How much I really need it to change for me to be able to live out my purpose in this lifetime. I am also very aware that this is a very interesting process to do while it's sitting in the back of my throat and my voice right now. And the check in of how else I might feel toward this part. I do feel a little bit of anger. And as I say that, I realize that like the anger is making me feel like crying. I feel angry at it for keeping me from doing things that I really want to do and need to do and really need to say. And I also feel sad for it. That this is the strategy that it's using. And how hard that must be when its role is to keep avoiding. Ooh, okay. How else I feel toward it is I'm starting to feel some compassion, starting to come in to replace some of the frustration that I feel. Because I can tell that it needs compassion. Because it's really scared. And at this point, I'm seeing how I can move a little bit closer to it while it's like kind of trying to avoid that. And I want to understand what does it think that what does it think will happen to me if it doesn't avoid things? What does it think will happen to me if it doesn't avoid things? First things that are coming right away are I'll be injured. Injury, pain, rejection, those are the top ones. I'll be injured. Anything else it wants to tell me about? Anything else you want to tell me about? What do you think will happen to me if you don't do this role of the avoider? Says you'll fail, and you'll break down. and you won't try anymore. And you'll give up, and you won't have any purpose. And you won't want to be here anymore. And then the world won't get what you're supposed to give to it. And so so could you share with me in your role how avoiding keeps all of that from happening? And it's saying, because if I don't let you do all the things you really want to do, then at least you'll still believe that they're possible. And you'll keep trying. Okay? I am noticing, feeling a bit confused about the logic of this role that you're playing in this strategy. So if you'll just allow me to get to know you a little bit better, is that okay? It's nodding a little reluctantly. Um, can you tell me more about what you think will happen if you don't play this role of avoiding? The word that just keeps coming up is you'll be injured, you'll be injured, you'll be injured. Okay? The part is like just kind of rocking back and forth. Uh, what I would like to do is just understand what age do you think that I am? And the answer right away was 6. Okay. And right now I can see the part at the age of 6. I can see this very colorful outfit. I can see the part in the living room at this house that I lived in with my mom and dad on Pigeon Court. And then, yeah, I can see that house. So is this the time frame that you came in to being, to playing this role? Just nodding. And what was the reason that you began to play this role at the age of 6? The part is just sort of like making a bunch of hand gestures, like saying all this stuff was going on. It's like all this stuff was going on, and it's like gesturing to like my environment. All this stuff was going on. And it's saying you needed my help to avoid it. Okay. Now, as we continue on and I get to learn more about you, I just wanted to let you know that I'm not 6 years old anymore, that I am a full-fledged adult. I am a mature woman. And I just want to let you know that I'm here in an adult role. And I'm really here to be supportive, to learn more about you, to support whatever might be more beneficial. And I would like to move closer towards you if that's okay. The part is kind of going like this, like come on in. And it's bringing me into a living room in this house on Pigeon Court. And it's basically saying, like, welcome to my world. And it's saying, this is what I've been dealing with. So can you tell me a little bit more about why you came into this role and why you are doing this role of the avoider? Uh, the part is just like kind of looking around to see if anyone's there and if it's okay to talk. And I also feel my throat clenching up a little bit, and I just really want to invite you to feel safe and to know that you can speak your truth. And you don't have to avoid that anymore. I really want you to know that I'm here. And if it's okay, I would like to hold your hand. And it's saying that it would like to tell me more. And like it kind of wants to give me a tour of its landscape, its environment. So I'm now holding its hand, her hand. It's this 6-year-old hand, and it kind of keeps with the other hand. It's like giving me this tour. And what I'd really like is for you to feel free to tell me more about why you are in this role and why you're playing this role and what you're trying to do in this role. It's saying that it spent many years in the beginning of my life and Tracy's life observing lots of bad things and seeing nobody do anything to fix it. And it developed over many years from the time I was born, from the time Tracy was born, to when it really felt it needed to show up and support me. Because there were so many bad things happening all at once. it's pointing out like this, like over here is that your mom is really sick. It's like this. Over here, it's telling me your mom is really sick. Your mom needs a lot of help and support. It's like your mom is very unsafe. So over here, your dad is struggling. Dad is struggling. So over here, your dad is really struggling. And it's like, but now he's moved out. And he's not here to help you. And it just keeps going like this. Over here is this, and over here is this. So over here is your mom struggling, over here is your dad struggling. Okay, and what else should I know? And it's saying, and your parents have separated, and nobody is thinking about you. And it's telling me that it's like walking through this house, giving me a tour of all these areas. Nobody is thinking about you. So I showed up. Uh, Feeling a pain in my heart right now. And this part is letting me know it's saying your heart was broken when your family was broken. And I came in to help you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for doing that. What else should I know about your role and why you came in to play this role? It's just pointing to my heart. And it's saying, it's pointing to my heart, saying, I know your heart is broken, and I know that you could not survive that. And I came in to help you avoid that. Okay. Is there anything else that I should know about your role? It's saying that you wanted to go live with your dad, but you chose to stay with your mom to be there for her so that she wouldn't kill herself or try to anymore. And even though your heart was broken, missing your dad and wanting to be with your dad, it's telling me that because you chose to stay with your mom, I came in to help you deal with how painful that was. Because the only way that you could make it through that and be in all of that pain that your mom was in and stay in it with her was if I was there helping you avoid feeling a lot of it. Yeah, okay. Is there anything else that I need to know about your role? Why you came into it, why you created it, anything else about it? It's the part is really starting to shake right now. It's really starting to like shake in nervousness. This is very interesting. And I am uh, squeezing his hand more and saying it's okay. You can tell me. It's safe to tell me. It's starting to calm down a little bit. And it's starting to cry. I'm just holding his hand. You can say it. And the part is like going like this, like I'm not allowed to say it. I'm not allowed to say it. And I'm just letting it know that it's okay. It can tell me. And it's letting me know that then a man came into our home to be my mom's boyfriend. And that was very painful for Tracy. And this part became a much bigger part and became very strong for me. Seeing that I needed more help. It's telling it's telling me that because I did not want this person to come into our life, and because I didn't feel comfortable around this person, it's saying, and because you did not want this person to replace your dad, and it's saying because you had no control over any of this, I just got stronger and stronger in helping you avoid it. Is there anything else that I should know about your experiences, your role, and why you've done it? You can open up and say what it is. You really can. It's like this, like I can't say it. Um, Letting you know that you really can say anything to me. It's, this part is saying that it's not supposed to say mean things that might hurt somebody. So it just avoids it and takes on the pain to help the situation. And I just want to let you know that you can say it to me. Just checking my time. Okay. Uh, it's saying that it did not like my mom's boyfriend. It was too soon with my parents separating. It was not right for you or your mom. It's saying your mom needed real mental health treatment and you didn't want another man in your home. You only wanted your dad. And it's saying because you didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, that the part just took over and had me avoid everything. So I wouldn't hurt anybody. And it just tried to take on all the hurt for me. Okay. It's saying all of these things were happening in your life, and they were so overwhelming that this part got created so that I could make it through it through the strategy of avoiding. Okay. Okay, so is there any other thing you want me to know about this role? Is there anything you feel I should know? Is there anything you want to tell me? Is there anyone you want me to talk to? Saying yes. Okay. Who would you like me to talk to? What would you like me to say? It's trying to open its mouth. It's trying to speak. I'm letting it know that I will do the talking for it. It can say anything to me. She can say anything to me. Okay. And she's saying, tell my mom that she doesn't need a new boyfriend and I don't need a new father, that I already have one. She's saying to tell my mom that she's really worried about her and that she should get help from doctors. And to tell my mom, tell her mom, tell the mom that she doesn't need a new boyfriend, that she needs doctors and help and support. And she needs help for her emotions and her struggles. and tell her she doesn't need a new boyfriend. She needs a doctor. Because she's saying she's only 6 years old and she doesn't know how to help her. And she doesn't want to see her mom avoiding getting the help that she needs. Is there anything else you want me to say to anyone? She's nodding. Tell the man, Dwayne, that my mom doesn't need him as a boyfriend right now and to leave us alone because my mom needs a doctor, not a boyfriend, to have sex with her. That's what she's saying. Her voice is getting a lot louder now. She's starting to raise her voice. She's saying, tell him to leave us alone because my mom does not need a boyfriend. My mom needs a doctor. She does not need a boyfriend to have sex with her. She needs a doctor to help her get better. So that I don't have to worry about her anymore. She's thinking. She's saying to tell him to go away because I don't want another father and I don't want another man here in our home. I want my own father and I want my mother to get better. And she's starting to yell right now. She's saying, go away. Go away. She's saying, tell him that it's not the right time for my mom to have a new boyfriend. And it's not the right time for me to have a new father because my parents are just moving out from each other. And she's saying, tell him that I also need what I need, and it is not another man in my mom's life. It is not a father. I need my father and my mother and not you. I just want to tell you how proud I am of you and ask you, is there anything else you want me to say to anybody for you? She's nodding again. She's saying, tell my mother that I don't want a new father. I don't want that man here. I want my father and my mother to get better and heal and help me through this terrible time. Focused on ourselves and each other. And tell my mother that I don't want an outsider coming into my life now. I want my mother and my father. I don't want another. And I don't want a stranger. Tell her that. Um, the part is really upset. I'm wanting to give it its moment. And I'm going to let you say whatever you want to say and whatever you want me to tell whoever you want me to tell it to. She's having trouble speaking right now. Please tell my father that I need him here with me. Please tell him to focus on me and don't leave me. Please tell him to come and get me and take me with him because my mom is sick and there is a strange man here that I don't want here and I don't like him. Please tell my dad to come and get me, please. And tell him to get someone else to take care of my mom so I don't have to. Please tell my dad to get my mom a doctor so she doesn't kill herself and so she doesn't have to have this strange man here to help her. Please tell my father not to leave me here with my sick mother and this stranger. Please tell my father that I don't want to live with my mother. I want to live with him. That I don't feel safe here. Please tell my father that I don't want to be around my mother when she's sick without a doctor because I'm worried about her all the time. Please tell my father to let me live with him and to stop focusing on other people and other women and to focus on me because I really need him. Is there anything else that you want me to say to anyone for you? She's saying, please tell God to not forget about me because he told me to come and help this family and be born here. And that if I came into this family, that it would be better. And tell God that nobody is thinking about me and what is best for me. And that I need God to get my mom and dad better. Please tell God to get my mom and dad better. Okay, I'll tell them for you. I'm gonna take care of that. Is there anything else that you want me to say to anyone or anything you want me to do for you? She's nodding. She's saying, please tell God to either make my mom and dad and my family better or to get me out of here because it hurts and I don't want to be here. Please tell God. And get me out of here because it hurts here. And nothing I do is making it better. And I don't want to be here. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to do or say for you? She's nodding. She's kind of shaking. She's very upset. She's kind of moving around, like kind of jumping around. It almost feels like she's trying to throw a tantrum, which has never happened before. She didn't feel safe to do that. And she's starting to jump up and down and clench her fist. That's what she's doing. And she's starting to yell, "Pay attention to me. I am the kid here. Focus on me and get better so you can be my mother and my father. And so you can not bring in a stranger that I don't want here." She's just jumping up and down. "I want my mother and I want my father and I don't want a stranger and I want things to be better. And I am the kid here." She's just yelling her head off. Just absolutely yelling her head off. And I am just patting her on the back, letting her scream, just patting her. I'm just letting her scream. "I want my mother. I want my father. I don't want a stranger. I want things to be better. I am the kid here." I'm, I'm just patting her on the back. And she's just going off. She is screaming at the top of her lungs. She's like unleashed. I've never seen her like this. Just letting her go. It's like she's unburdening herself from a lifetime. And I'm just patting her on the back. And I just want to keep giving you permission to unburden yourself in any way you want to. She's just screaming. She just kind of collapsed on the floor. She just like wore herself out. And I just want to let you know that this is the absolute moment to unburden yourself. If there's anything else you want to say, anything else you want me to say for you or do for you, this is the moment. If there's something you want to unburden yourself, anything you want to say, if any burden you want to get rid of. She's just saying, I don't want to avoid anymore. I never did. That wasn't my idea. That's what they were doing. And that's what I started doing, but I don't want to be an avoider anymore. I want to be something else. I'm just holding both of her hands like this, looking at her. And I'm letting her know that she doesn't have to be an avoider anymore. And she can let me know if there's a new role she would like to play. And if she'd like to retire, she can do whatever she wants to do. I just want to know what she wants to do from here. She's saying she wants to give all the burdens up to God to take care of. She doesn't want to be trying to take care of her parents or family members who never cared about what she needed. She wants to be able to be herself and take care of what she needs. She wants to give the burdens up to God to handle everything. And is there a role that you would like to play? A new role? She's very clear. She wants to be the communicator. She wants to go from the avoider to the communicator. Tell me about this role that you want to play. She's saying, I don't want to hold anything in. I don't want to protect people. I don't want to be in situations where people are needing help and they don't get it. I want to be a communicator. I want to be a partner. I want to be a leader. She's saying, I want to be a sharer. I want to be an influencer. I want to be a communicator. And I want to communicate good things that help people. Is there anything else you want in this role? He says, I just want to communicate what I want to communicate. It's as simple as that. Saying, I want to be a communicator who is understood and heard and listened to and followed. Because she knows what it's like to suffer and she wants to help people get better. Okay. She's saying, I am here to be a communicator. She's saying, I'm a communicator that knows what it's like to suffer, and I'm here to communicate with people about how to get better. She's just repeating it. Is there anything else you want me to know about this role? So that I can help you in this role, and as my adult self, I'm going to be in charge and I'm going to help you in this role. So let me know if there's anything else I need to know. She says, I'm a communicator. I'm a communicator. I'm a communicator. I'm going to tell the truth and use my experience to make things better. She says, in this role, I am not going to settle anymore. And I am going to communicate whenever and wherever I feel it's going to make things better. Okay? Sounds clear to me. So, are you ready to come into the present moment with me and play this new role and allow me to be in charge and support you in this new role? Are you ready to come into the present as the communicator in your new role, where I will support you and collaborate with you so you can help, so you can communicate and make things better? She's nodding. She's ready. And we're holding hands. And we're walking out that door of that living room. And we're shutting the door. And she's locking the door. And she's taking the keys. And she's throwing them. And the keys are going really, 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 really far until she's thrown them so far away, I have no idea where they've gone. And the house is dissolving as we walk forward on a path. And now we are coming into the marina that we live on. And we're walking hand in hand on the marina, holding hands in the present moment together. Okay. All right, everyone. That is an internal family system session. I just, excuse all the tears and everything. Um, I just tend to allow the session to go where it needs to go. And come here, TJ. Come here. Oh, come here. I allow the session to go where it needs to go, and I'm always just as astounded by it each time. And I hope that this is helpful for people to see how you can lead yourself through it, even when it can be very intensive. Holding that position as your full adult self while holding space for this other part of yourself to be acknowledged, to be known. I realize right now I didn't do a lot of thanking and appreciating that part, which would have been a part of the process that I missed. Um, I can really appreciate all that that part has done to help me in my life. And hopefully, everybody can see that the invitation is to recognize that these different parts emerged in order to help us at different points in our life. They became real personalities with a real life, a reality they're navigating, and they stay in that reality and they're navigating it every day. And you're here in the present moment, but they're navigating that world that they got stuck in. And in this case, this was a real pivotal moment when that part emerged, and I'm very committed to helping support it into its new role where it can say whatever it wants and whatever it needs and whatever's going to make it better. That was a very powerful experience for me. And while there are a lot of things that I could share, I'm going to allow myself to just do what I would do after a session like this, which is to be kind and gentle to myself and not feel the pressure to do something else. It is my sincere intention that through my own process, which may or may not be fully understood or uh, completely applicable to you, it's my hope and intention that you can take from what it is that I'm doing and experiencing and how I'm strategically transforming that part of myself and learning what to do in each self session of this internal family systems therapy. And this can help you on your path to heal these parts of yourself, upgrade them, acknowledge them, and support them into a new role so they can be aligned with you on your internal team and help support you with what is needed now in this moment. So that regardless of what's going on in your external life, that you can end up with a team of internal parts, your internal family, which I am now calling the internal dynasty family, that can harmonize and collaborate and co-create your reality with you. Thank you for tuning in to this internal family systems self session, where we have together transformed the part called the avoider into a new part called the communicator. And we've achieved this transformation together. And I really appreciate that we're along for the journey. And I'm also here if you need support in transforming. And if this is beneficial, supportive for you, or you just like to support me and see more of these kinds of videos where I am doing transformational processes on myself in order to help you know how to do it and give you an insights and give you the inside track to transformational reality versus just telling you about it after the fact. If that's something that is you can find value in, it would be great for you to subscribe, like, share this video, and help more people transform the parts of themselves with the internal family systems approach to upgrading yourself. All right, you moguls, I'm so excited for you to become more empowered with yourselves, more positively influential, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.